Hey everybody, welcome. It's May 29th, 2024. And perhaps a couple people will join us live today. We shall see. But anyway, we are live. We're live here on YouTube and on Rumble. So at least some of us are. Anyway, thanks for joining today. Let's get to it. Hey, what's up, Joe? Nice to see you, bro. Or broette. I don't know. Bro, I suppose. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? Today, May 29th. It's like almost summer or something. But I want to talk about something here that kind of affects us all, right? Welcome to the show, and let's talk about something that affects us all, yeah, even if you don't realize it. It's called the endowment effect. Sounds fancy, right? But I promise you, it's something you experience every single day. The endowment effect is this nifty little quirk in our brains that makes us think that stuff is more valuable simply because it's ours. It's like when your kid brings home a finger painting from school. To you, it's priceless. To anyone else, it's abstract art at best, right? So why does this matter? Well, take a look around your house. You see all the clutter? The old magazines, the clothes you haven't worn since Obama was in office, all those tchotchkes from vacations you barely remember. That's the endowment effect in action. We keep things not because they're useful, but because in some twisted corner of our minds, they're precious just because we own them. Think about it. You got a drawer full of cables for gadgets you don't even own anymore, but do you throw it out? No, of course not, because one day you might need a charger for that Nokia 3310. Spoiler alert, you will not. But that's the endowment effect whispering, hold on, just in case. Now, imagine if you could understand this little brain glitch. We could all liberate ourselves from the tyranny of our junk. We could Marie Kondo our lives without this existential crisis. Understanding the endowment effect means recognizing that your Spice Girls CD collection isn't going to become a family heirloom. It's just taking up space. So, how do you combat this? Well, start by asking yourself, if you didn't own it, would you buy it? Be honest. Would you actually spend money on that lava lamp if it wasn't already sitting in your basement? The answer is no. It's time to let it go. Look, I'm not saying we should all become minimalists living in white-walled spaces with one chair and a potted plant, but maybe, just maybe, we don't need to hoard like we're auditioning for the next season of Hoarders. Understanding the endowment effect helps us break free from the psychological chains that keep us tied to our stuff. It's about recognizing that our possessions don't define us. They're just things. And sometimes getting rid of things makes room for what really matters. Experiences, relationships, and let's be real, more space for new stuff we'll eventually throw out. So next time you're drowning in clutter, remember, it's just the endowment effect messing with your head. Clear it out, make some space, and maybe, just maybe, you'll feel a little lighter. And who knows, you might just find that inner peace Marie Kondo is always talking about. Or at least you'll be able to find that remote. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffey and Nuance Show, the least watched censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. Good coffee. But yeah, we're talking about the endowment effect. And, you know, one of the things that you will find is if people keep repeating topics in your personal life, if they keep bringing up a subject, they keep bringing it up. Like every couple months, they keep bringing up the same thing. They're bringing it up because it's important to them, right? So I don't know if the endowment effect really affects you, but it does affect me. I'm well aware of it. And that's why I choose the topics that I do. Because this is something that does affect me. And if it affects me, perhaps it has an impact on you. But the endowment effect, it's a psychological phenomenon, because today's Big Idea Wednesday, right? You got to talk about an idea. It's a psychological phenomenon where people assign more value to things merely because they own them. Yeah. And this bias leads people to overvalue their possessions compared to identical items they don't own. For example, someone might demand a higher price to sell a mug they own than they would be willing to pay to buy that same mug if they didn't own it. The endowment effect helps explain why people often hold on to items longer than they should, contributing to clutter and inefficient decision making in their personal lives. Now, understanding this effect can aid in making more rational choices about keeping and discarding stuff or possessions. Yeah, I do think hoarders are just hyper endowment challenged. That's one way to define it, Natasha. Yeah. But that is the thing. If we didn't already own it, would we buy it? You know, and you got to be real with yourself. So many things, I look around and it's like, would I buy this? How much would I buy this for? If it's not much, maybe let it go. And I'll get to another example of that a little bit later in the show. We got a couple things to get through today. I know the big story that's happening is what's happening in New York with Trump, and you know what's going to be the result of that. I don't know, chaos, probably. Who knows? Who knows? But I got a couple other stories to get to today. First is a warning from Vladdy Putin. He's got a warning for some countries, and I think maybe we ought to listen to him. Here we go. Oh no. Russian leader Vladimir Putin has warned European countries to reconsider allowing Ukraine to use Western arms to strike within Russia, highlighting the risks of smaller, densely populated European nations. This follows calls from NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg and other European leaders to ease restrictions on Ukraine's use of Western weapons for self-defense, particularly near the Russian border. They argue that these restrictions impede Ukraine's ability to protect itself, which is BS. But Putin cautioned that escalating the conflict could have serious consequences for Europe. I don't know. I don't know about you, but this guy seems to have a track record of following through on his threats. You know? Perhaps, you know, unless you just want to see the end of mankind, you may recognize that the Ukraine conflict is done, right? It could end in a day. It could end in a day if they just decided to end it. This is so horrible what's happening. I'm not even getting into whose fault it is. But this could end in a day. And the longer that this goes on, this is going to end in a negotiation, right? We know that, right? Ukraine is not going to defeat Russia, okay? Like a lot of people knew this on day one, but it's never going to happen. Escalating this, provoking Putin further when he's saying, hey, if you support Ukraine sending missiles into Russia, we might just have a little something for you. I would take that seriously. But I guess, I don't know, our world is run by psychopaths, apparently. Um, and I guess they want to see a lot of dead Russians and dead Ukrainians. I think the whole thing is sick. But Vladimir Putin coming in with a threat to small European nations, not to F with him, I would take it seriously. But then again, what do I know, right? I only happen to predict most of this stuff correctly. Anyway, I saw a trend happening, and I'm very curious about it. I wonder what you think. So Amazon Fresh is cutting prices on thousands of grocery items, offering discounts up to 30% on 4,000 products, both in-store and online, rotating weekly. This move is part of a broader trend among retailers like Target, Walmart, IKEA, and others, who are also reducing prices to attract budget-conscious consumers. Now, retailers raised prices significantly due to inflation, but now have faced decreased consumer spending as households prioritize needs over wants. The discounts on Amazon Fresh include meat, seafood, frozen foods, dairy, snacks, beverages, and all kinds of other crap, with extra savings if you got Prime. So we're seeing this trend that a lot of retailers are now cutting prices, cutting groceries. I wonder if the Biden administration will come out and say, look, inflation is down. Look, prices are down this year. And you're like, yeah, but prices doubled last year. And they're down 10% this year. Okay. Whatever. But I do think that anytime that you hear about prices, if someone, just be aware of this. If someone talks about, oh, prices are down, you just ask, since when? Since when are they down? Okay? Because does that include when they went up? Right? Yeah. That's the important thing. Since when? If I'm punching you in the face 10 times, and then I let up and I'm only punching you in the face 2 times, I can say, violence against your face is down. Okay. Since when? Anyway, that's a dumb example. That's why I got to think of examples before I talk, but that's being live. Anyway, I just wanted you to be aware of that and look for the stories that talk about the price of groceries going down. And does that, do you think, have anything to do with any politics that are happening right now? It may not, but it is something to consider. Anyway, we've got one more warning. Yikes. U.S. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, that's the NHTSA, has urged owners of nearly 84,000 older Nissan vehicles to stop driving them immediately due to dangerous, unrepaired airbags. This follows a warning from Nissan targeting 2002 to 2006 Sentra, 2002 to 2004 Pathfinder, and 2002 to 2003 Infiniti QX4 models, which were recalled in 2020 but not yet fixed. They're emphasizing that these airbags can explode, causing serious injuries and death, even in minor crashes. To assist, Nissan dealers are offering free towing, mobile repairs, and loaner vehicles. This issue is part of a massive recall affecting over 100 million Takata airbags, inflators worldwide, linked to nearly 30 deaths and over 400 injuries since 2009. Other automakers, including Toyota and Stellantis, have also issued similar warnings for their vehicles. So if this could be scary, right? If you are a broke American, right? I identify as a broke American. I have a car that's in these years. Now, mine's not a Nissan. But if you are a broke American and you've got a car within these years and it's a Nissan, that's a warning to you, and to check things out further. That could be really scary. You're in just some little minor thing and the airbag explodes. Wow. Not good. So, that's just my warning to, the dozen people that watch the show. Anyway, if you identify as a rich American and you don't have to drive around in a 20-year-old car, well, good for you. Anyway, next I got to talk about YouTube becoming unwatchable. YouTube has intensified its battle against ad blockers by implementing tactics that disrupt video playback for users employing these extensions. The latest strategy skips videos to the end and causes indefinite buffering if users interact with the timeline. Previous efforts included pop-up warnings, unplayable videos with endless loading screens. This escalation coincides with increase in ads, making the viewing experience more frustrating and pushing users toward YouTube's $14 monthly ad-free premium tier. Aha! Now, despite YouTube's measures, ad blockers like AdBlock continue to adapt, and users seek alternatives such as uBlock Origin or browsers like Brave. Now, however, due to YouTube's dominant position, it's unlikely many users will permanently leave the platform. And that's it, because people won't leave what they're doing. They just won't do it. I have been broadcasting on different platforms, and there are people that are like, no, this is what I'm on, and I will be on YouTube forever, no matter what YouTube does. And I get it. Some of the other platforms aren't as good. Yeah, they're not. Their algorithm, not really as good. They don't have as many creators. It's harder to find interesting things. I get it. But what I found interesting about this is YouTube is generating billions and billions of dollars from ads on YouTube. And so, yeah, they want to fight this. And how they're fighting it is they're making their product nearly unusable unless you sit through all kinds of crazy ads. What I find the most annoying myself is, let's say you're out somewhere and you're just looking up something, or maybe you're working on your car and you just want to figure out, hey, where's the dipstick on my car? I can't seem to find it. And you do a quick search and here's a short little YouTube video. Let me just watch this so I can find out. And oh no, I've got 6 minutes of ads to sit through for a 20-second answer to my question. Yeah. But they are pushing people to buy their $14 a month premium to not have any ads. Kind of seems like extortion? I don't know. Coercion? Financial coercion? Not a fan. I don't really care for that. In fact, I rarely will even look at YouTube on my phone because my phone doesn't have ad blockers or anything. And then you try to hit the skip button and it's too small, and then you hit something else, and I don't know. They really want me to buy that $14. They really want me to buy that $14 subscription. You know what would be nice, YouTube? I'm just saying, if people are making videos for your platform, and they've been a creator for years, putting out content for your platform, maybe you could give them your little premium thing, you know, as maybe like a thank you for making content. Yeah, that ain't happening. Why would they do that, right? Why would they do that? Anyway, but I just wanted to let you know about that. If you do watch these videos on a desktop or a laptop where you have the option of different browsers or things like that, I do like the Brave browser for watching YouTube videos. That is my preferable browser, and I think it works really well for YouTube. And if you haven't tried that out, you can check that out. Let me know how that works. But anyway, we need some good news today, so let's get to the good news. And I'm sure I've talked about this at some point before, but they're reporting on it again, so I thought I'd bring it up again. It's a new trend known as the Library of Things, LOT. It allows consumers to rent items instead of buying them, thereby reducing waste and unnecessary spending. Libraries of Things offer a wide range of products for rent, from baby clothes, winter coats, to telescopes and cameras. This concept addresses the problems of e-waste and fast fashion by providing a sustainable alternative to ownership. You will own nothing and be happy, right? There are over 2,000 libraries of things worldwide, half of which have emerged in the past 5 years. Users can set up an account and pay rental fees, which may vary seasonally. Library of Things support extensive reuse, with some items being rented hundreds of times. They cater to a variety of needs, including camping gear, gardening tools, home electronics, and more, making it an ideal solution for trying new activities or hobbies without the commitment to purchase. So I really like this idea. In fact, we've got a number of these here. In fact, if you look for Library of Things, one of my local suburbs, Hillsborough, comes up as like the #1 result. So they've been doing this a while. And many of these libraries are actually free. Some rent and some are for free. But I think this is a great idea. There's a tool library that I have used here in Portland. It's great. Now, their hours are not very convenient. You know, they're open like one evening a week, and then like Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or something. So you really got to catch them. But they have a number of gardening things. You need a rototiller. Maybe you need a chainsaw. Actually, the chainsaws they have are tiny and kind of worthless. But I tried using a mulcher. But even if it's just like, you know what? I've got a big yard, and I thought maybe we could all have a family raking day together. You might be able to go and just borrow 4 rakes so everybody could rake at once. Make it a raking party in the fall, right? Who knows? I've seen some other ones that have lots of board games, and I think that's a great idea, that rather than purchasing these board games, which, you know, can be $30, $50 for some of these games, that you may only play 1 or 2 times, you can go and rent or borrow a board game, play it, have a fun time with it, return it. Now somebody else can use it. You didn't have to pay all that money for it, and it's not taking up space in your house. So I think that's a really awesome idea. I would encourage you to look for libraries of things and various libraries in your area, just to become aware of it. One of the awesome ones that is here in Portland. Now, I don't have access to it because it's the southeast. You need to live within a certain zone to be able to get this. So I always have to ask a friend of mine to get something for me because he lives in that neighborhood. But they have a kitchen library, and you can go and borrow kitchen equipment. So maybe you don't have one of those really nice KitchenAid stand-up mixers, and you only really use it once a year. You know, you're going to do some product, or, you know, making whatever you're making with one of these big fancy KitchenAid. It's silly to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on this mixer that you're going to use one time per year. You can sign up and go borrow it from a library. One that I've been looking forward to doing is they have an apple press. So they've got a big apple press, and when it's apple season, I think it would be really fun to sign up and borrow the apple press to use, you know, for a day, and then return it. But the last thing I want to do is buy like a, you know, a cider press. Okay, like that takes up a lot of room. They're very expensive, and just this idea that we can go somewhere and rent it or borrow it, I think is grand. It helps you have less crap, and you know, what's the point of having something if you only use it once a year, if other people could be using it as well? I think it's and also it's very community oriented, and it's also a place that you might be able to donate things. So if you got, you know, for example, maybe you got some, you know, maybe I bought a post hole digger, and I'm done digging post holes. I can't foresee myself needing to dig any post holes for a decade. I don't need any more posts at my house. Maybe I could donate the post hole digger to the tool library, let somebody else use it, and then I don't have it taking up space in my house. So anyway, that's the good news. If you were unfamiliar with those, give a look. Do some searching. Maybe there's some in your local area, and you know, find out what they are renting or lending out, and maybe you can make use of that. Anyway, so that's the good news of the day. Stick around for the after show. I'll go through all your comments. I'll be back on Friday with a Fact Check Friday. But thank you if you made it this far. Thanks for hitting the like button. It's so nice when I look and I say, wow, look at that. 4 people liked my video today. I feel touched. So thanks for that. Stick around for the after show, and I will be going through all your comments. Until then, peace. Hey, well, that doesn't say after show, does it? No, it doesn't. Nope. That one doesn't either. That one doesn't either. Well, we'll just clear it out. There we go. How about that? Okay. So today was the endowment effect. What's up, Apothecary John? Hashtag Rumble Gang. You know, maybe one day Rumble will become a gang, and we'll just take over the chat, but that'll be for a future video. So we were talking about the endowment effect. Joe Lyman coming in with a good joke. Sounds like something to do with genitals. I agree. Does a hoarder's stuff define them as hoarders? Could do that as well. Can you summarize what's happening in New York with Trump? I'm clueless. There's a silly lawsuit against him, and even CNN says that the whole thing is ridiculous. But you know, who knows? We'll just have to see what happens. To me, it was a ridiculous case from the get-go, but, you know, we're living in a time when the law is obviously all of these lawsuits, none of them would have happened had he not been running for president. So if that's the case, that you wouldn't be charged for something if you just weren't running for president. Seems political to me, but we'll just see what happens. Joe says, I think Ukraine is down to just 4 countries shipping at arms. I'm not even sure what it is, but I know that if I were a tiny country nearby, I'd probably shut up. That's what I would do. Yeah. Oh, Joe says his avatar is AI generated. Okay. That's cool. It's kind of fun having AI generated stuff. I think my Duolingo avatar now is not. It's like a little cartoon, and they let you choose. It's kind of like a choose your own emoji. I forgot what those were called, but they have them on Duolingo now, and I changed mine to just a guy that I don't know, semi looks like me with a mustache. Yeah, DM says Brave browser does it automatically. Yes, they do, and that's why I like the Brave browser. This last week, there has been a massive leak of Google's search algorithm. I had not heard that, but I would be interested to learn more about that. So I'll look into that. So thanks for sharing that. Old Mustangs used to explode if rear-ended. I think those were Pintos. Those were the Ford Pinto. My mom tried to get to me to sell one when she heard this info, but I kept it another 10 or 15 years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the Ford Pinto, which was a smaller little hatchback. Joe says, I tried YouTube Premium, but it kept triggering the app when my phone was in my pocket, especially when I enter or leave my car. It disconnects from various Bluetooth sources. That sounds really annoying. I'm actually looking at having a phone that that does not have apps on it, or does not have apps that are connected to Google or Facebook or anything like that. Currently, my phone is set up to be notification free. So I get no notifications on my phone. I get just text messages. That's the only notification that I get. But I've turned off, the voice activation. I've turned off the microphone for all the apps and all of that. And I'm having a better experience for that. You get what you pay for. Yeah, that's true. That's true. To avoid ads on YouTube, skip to the last 30 seconds, then hit replay, and you should get the video ad-free. Perhaps. One of the things is these are different for all the platforms and the devices, and where you're using it. I know that, for example, on my TV, if I have YouTube on my TV, I get every ad. There's nothing really I can do about it, and the ad comes even before I'm able to do anything. So maybe that works on your phone or on your tablet or something like that. But I don't think I don't think the option is even available when I'm watching on my TV. But it is something to try. So thanks for sharing that. DM's watching on Brave now. We'll see. It's good. Another thing on Brave, I need to look into this more. Is you're able to set up an account on Brave if you like, and maybe earn some tokens if you choose to watch ads. So that's something that Brave allows. Like maybe you set it up so that you can watch for certain things that you want to support, and so there's lots of possibilities. The Pinto thing is funny. It was all due to the book Unsafe at Any Speed, really tearing apart the American auto industry for safety, led to many new automotive regulations, which made cars more expensive. The funny part is the Pinto ended up statistically being safe than the average car of the era. That's often the case. That's often the case with things you really need to look at the pros and cons of all things. And often you think, a lot of times maybe a regulation was good intentioned, but it ended up causing more harm than good. That's why you need to look at things holistically and in totality to really judge these things. Both Pintos and Mustangs, gas tanks would douse the driver and passengers with gasoline for Mustang. I think 60 Minutes did a segment on it. Okay. I didn't know. I think Mustangs are so cool, I think I'd probably take the risk. Yeah. And Natasha says, my town has a program for loaning out power tools. Didn't you do a segment on that in the past? Yeah, I did. There's lots of different libraries here. I kind of got into them. I think the first one was, there's the free little book library, where people set up libraries and they just put little books out in their area. And that's kind of fun to go by. There's actually one I pass when I take my dog for a walk to a particular park. And I always see if there's any new books. And it's a great place that I could drop off a book that I don't want anymore, or I'm done reading it. Chances are I'm not going to read it again. I just put it in the little library and maybe one of my neighbors would enjoy it. But yeah, there's lots of different libraries around here. And I have talked about it before. But I thought I'd talk about it again, right? How's the carnivore going for you, Tom? And who do you follow that promotes it? I don't follow a lot of people that promote it. And one of the things, I did make some mistakes, and I was eating a lot of eggs. And I went to get my lipid test, right? My yearly test, my blood work done. And my LDL, my bad cholesterol, was kind of through the roof. I suspect it was because I was eating way too many eggs. Because I was eating eggs kind of as a snack. And that was a bad idea. I didn't realize that they were that high in cholesterol and that I could just do egg white rather than the eggs, and get rid of all the flavor, but also get rid of the cholesterol. So I'm going to have to redo my blood work to see if I'm down within a healthy level again. But that was not good. Did you ever visit the Take a Duck, Leave a Duck library? No, I never did. Thank you for the reminder. I'll keep trying that. What's up, Gonzo? Nice to see you over there on Rumble, #RumbleGang. And I thought I heard a story from Portland about someone going to various corner book lending libraries and putting in controversial books. Maybe I'm hallucinating the memory, though. Seems like something that they would do in Portland. Wouldn't surprise me, but I had not heard that story. But there are hundreds of the little libraries around Portland. One of the things that I don't like about the little library, it was this organization and they started it and they got a little website. But if you want to register your little library on their site, they've got like a yearly, it's like $30 or something to register. It's ridiculous. It seems like a money-making scheme, if you will. So I don't think that I would, just on general principle, I wouldn't pay it. And I'd probably get it into Google in another fashion. I thought about making one in front of my house. I thought that might be kind of fun. I haven't done it, though. But, yeah, cholesterol's overrated. Could be. But my bad cholesterol was really high. Like, ridiculously high. And I think it was probably because I was just eating soft-boiled eggs as snacks. So, I got a Ben Shapiro book from one of those sites. Still have it. Never read it. Well, I would say read it. Or if you're not going to read it, just get rid of it. Because maybe someone else would enjoy it, right? That's the question, right? Going back to the endowment effect, would you buy it if you didn't own it? And if you wouldn't, then maybe not keep it. We have a secondhand store, and every time I go in it, I see donated dollar store items that still have the dollar store tags on it, often listed for more than the original price. Yeah, that is funny. When you see that, you go into Goodwill or whatever the thrift store may be, and they've priced things higher than a lot of times they'll get merchandise, and maybe it's like old stuff from Ross or TJ Maxx or something like that, and they just donate it to the Goodwill. Still has all the tags on it, and then Goodwill prices it higher than than it was marked at the TJ Maxx, which is kind of funny. Good luck with that, right? But that happens sometimes. Anyway, that's all I have for you all today. I hope you all have a beautiful day. I'll be back on Friday. Hope to see you then. And yeah, think about the endowment effect. Ask yourself, if you see something just in your house, would I buy this if I didn't own it? The answer is no. It's got to go. Anyway, y'all have a beautiful day. I will see you next time. Peace.